and welcome to Code Tutorials. In this video, we're going to talk about setting up the LayerSlider plugin with the Stockholm theme. So, after installing and activating Stockholm, if you navigate to plugins in your admin dashboard, you'll see a notice at the top that tells you about plugins that are required for the Stockholm theme. And here it says LayerSlider. So the first thing I'm going to do is click on Begin Installing Plugins. Then I'm going to check the box next to LayerSlider and click on Install. When you see plugin installed successfully, you can return to the plugins installer. Now we have Activate instead of Install next to LayerSlider, and I'm going to click on this new option. Now we've successfully activated LayerSlider. I'm going to go to my dashboard home window, and this will make the dashboard menu options refresh. Then you'll get the LayerSlider options in your admin dashboard menu. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Over here, you'll see several options. The first one says Template Store. I will talk about that a bit later in the video. Then Import Slides. This gives you the option to import a pre-designed slider. If you took a look at the Stockholm Themes demo sites, you might have noticed that several of them use the LayerSlider. And you can import any one of those sliders onto your own site using the Import Slider option in the plugin. Let me show you how to do it. First, you need to pick which slider you want to import. The one I'll be working with today is this, Daniel. I'll be using this in-grid auto-rotate slider to show you the import process. First, I'll need to navigate to Theme Forest. Since I'm already logged into my account, I just need to navigate to my Downloads page. And here it says Stockholm. I'm going to click on Download and then All Files and Documentation. Now, I'm going to open this file that I just downloaded. Inside it, you'll see a folder called XML Export. We need to open that. Then inside it, we'll get a list of all the pre-designed sliders. All of these sliders are used on the Stockholm demo sites, and you can import any one of them onto your own site. If you take a look at the file name, you'll see a number at the end. Those numbers correspond to different Stockholm demos that include the LayerSlider in their design. You can see which is which by checking the URLs on the live theme. Let me show you what I mean. When I open Daniel, the live theme demo with the LayerSlider I picked for import, I can see which number it is in the URL, Stockholm demo number 4. So, when you're going through the demos on your own, you can always check the number in the URL to know which slider you need. Because this slider corresponds to the zip slider, this one, with 4 in the name. Now you need to pull out this file. Don't unzip it, simply pull it out so we can import it. And then go back to your WordPress dashboard where you have the LayerSlider options open. Then click on Import Sliders. Now I'm going to choose the file that I just pulled out a moment ago. Here it is, LayerSlider Stockholm 4. Okay. And I'm going to click on Import Sliders. Give it a sec. The slider has now imported and it's automatically open for editing. Now, in order to add my slider to the page, I'm going to click on Slider Settings. And in here at the bottom, you have the option Use Shortcode. So I'll just copy the shortcode. Then I'm going to navigate to the page where I want to add my slider. So, Pages, All Pages. And I made an example page just for this. Here on the page, I'm going to scroll down to the section under Select General. Find the field that says LayerSlider or Select Slider Shortcode. This is where I'm going to paste the shortcode I copied a moment ago. Here it is. Now I'm going to update the page. And then we can click on Preview to see how the slider looks. Open a new tab. And as we can see, the slider has now successfully imported. Now there is another way of adding a LayerSlider to your page. I'm going to delete this shortcode that I just added so I don't end up with 2 sliders on my page. Update to save the change. Then I'm going to click on this button here to enable editing in the WP Bakery page builder. Okay, here we are. Same page but with WP Bakery enabled. I'm going to click on Add Element. And over here in the search bar, I'm going to start typing LayerSlider to find the LayerSlider element. Click to add. Now we just need to tell the element which slider to display. You can do that in the LayerSlider ID dropdown. And actually, since I only imported one slider, that's the only option I have here. If you import more sliders, your menu will, of course, be more populated. When you're done, click on Save Changes. And let's update the page so we can check the front. You can use the permalink here to open it in a new tab. And there's our slider. We've successfully added it to the page. Now let me close some of these tabs before we get into the LayerSlider settings. Okay. Now, as far as editing the slider itself goes, LayerSlider is a third-party plugin, so when you're ready to start customizing your slides, we recommend looking at the official plugin documentation for any questions you might have. Additionally, we recommend looking at the documentation in order to familiarize yourself with the various options that come with LayerSlider. In any case, I will leave you a link in the description section below. Now, let's go back to the slider settings. We've talked about how to import a predesigned slider, but here you also have the option of adding a new slider. This is useful if you want to build a new slider from scratch. And if you look below, in the product activation section, it's asking you to activate the LayerSlider plugin now. The LayerSlider is bundled with Stockholm, and what that means is that when you purchase Stockholm, you will receive a free copy of the LayerSlider plugin. This plugin will have the same core functionalities you'd get if you purchase a standalone version of the plugin, so you can safely ignore this. There are some differences between bundled plugins and standalone plugins. With bundled plugins, you do not need to register them on their own. Registering the theme and activating them through the theme is enough. You don't have that extra step. On the other hand, with bundled plugins, you will not have access to automatic updates. Instead, once new versions of LayerSlider come out, we will include them with the next Stockholm theme update. So you will be able to update LayerSlider by updating Stockholm. And with each new version of Stockholm, you will receive the latest versions of the bundled plugins. Alright, there's something else I wanted to show you here as well. And that's the template store at the top. Let's take a look at what this option offers. Here we see some templates that are provided by the LayerSlider plugin. Since there are quite a few templates here, you might find it easier to browse them if you sort them using the filters on the side. If you click on Free, it's already on. Okay, here you can see some templates that come with the LayerSlider, so you can choose one of these templates and import them to use on your site. Simply click on the import button that appears on hover, and you'll have a starting point for your slider which you can customize. Now, over here it says Premium. These templates are only available to users who have purchased the standalone version of the plugin. Then you'll need to purchase another copy of the LayerSlider to be able to import them. Alright, now you can opt to use our pre-designed sliders, make your own, or customize a template. Either way, you have the LayerSlider all set up and ready to use on your site. We hope you found this tutorial helpful and thank you for watching. If you would like to be notified about future videos, you can subscribe to our channel. And if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please drop us a line in the comment section below.